All right, welcome back, everyone, to Two Screws Loose. Different setup today. We've redone the podcast studio. We got rid of the table in the middle, and we got some. You can see on Nicole's side, we got some chairs. Brought the couch in that was would never have seen, but it was off the side of the table in the last setup. But the table is now gone because we thought it was too professional. It was more of an interview than anything else. So now we have so much more space. Room. Yes, now it feels way better. So we did that over the last couple of days. But today we are talking about
happiness. No, actually, yes. I was watching a movie the other night called Meet Cute or something, and you know Big Bang Theory, the blonde girl,
Kaylee
Cuoco, whatever, and Pete Davidson was in it. And it was about this girl that kept reliving. Spoiler alert! But she kept reliving her this day where they meet, and it ends up being a movie about mental health. Anyway, I was just thinking about happiness and whatnot. And I was doing research. And are you happy, Pat?
Yes.
Good. What do you reckon people should do if they're not happy? Be happy.
Be happy. What do I reckon people should do if they're not happy?
Do you think people have control over their happiness?
I think so, to an extent. Yeah, there's going to be like circumstantial things and things that are like you can't control that probably make you unhappy. But the first thing I would say is figure out what's making you unhappy and do the opposite of that.
I love that. You should be a psychologist.
No, I shouldn't be. No, I shouldn't be a psychologist. That's not even a psychologist thing. That's just logical, right?
To some people.
If you hate something that makes you unhappy, do the opposite of that.
Yeah, get out of that situation. I often say this with Will. People who complain continuously about something, but then don't do anything to change it. Yeah, you might complain about it while you're working through trying to change it. Yeah. But if it's been like months and you're still complaining about the same thing, but you haven't done anything about it, why are you still doing it? Mm-hmm. Why are you complaining about it?
Because I don't think they don't want to change.
No, because it's easier.
It's normal. It's what they understand.
Yeah. And that sort of comes down to, we all have like the studies say that we have a baseline of happiness. Everyone's baseline set point is predisposed based on genetic and nurturing. So basically your childhood. Do you have childhood trauma?
Yeah.
So 50% of that. However, new studies have sort of come out in the last few years where, well, we know that we have 40% of our happiness is in our control. And then it's about like 10% is our current circumstances. But they used to always say that your set point, no matter if you had highs and you had lows, you would always return back to that exact same set point. So say you had a shit upbringing, your set point, even if you worked hard, they used to say that you couldn't be actually happier. Whereas many studies have come out since then.
Yeah, but yeah, okay, yeah. Yeah, you're about to make the point I'm about to say, yeah.
Yeah, since then they've shown that through actively working on your happiness and your well-being, you can improve that set point.
Yeah, I get you. So if everything's going well, something bad happens, you will only ever go back to X amount of happiness.
Yeah.
I feel like that's so like how do they define happiness though?
Five things. So it's like your overall well-being. So when they talk about like happiness, like you can feel happy, you can feel sad.
Yep.
But your neutral is what I guess they're saying is your set point.
Right. So if you're not elated, you're not miserable. What you are normally is your level of happiness.
Yeah. Do you know how naturally some people are just like, all the time, and then other people are just all the time. That's their set point. Yeah. But they're not they're not going to be stuck there forever. If they worked on it, they can improve it.
Yeah, I understand what you mean. But there are people that are then not so out there and excitable. But I don't think excitable necessarily means happy.
No. Just an example. Some people are just like naturally, like Will. His baseline of happiness is definitely higher than my baseline of happiness.
Yeah.
He's just like always in a good mood. Like things upset him, things make him excited, but he's not like, "Whoo!" Like I'm so excited about life. But his baseline, you can see it, like is a lot higher than mine would be.
Yeah, no, okay, I see. I understand.
Yeah.
Keep going, sorry.
Anyway, so basically, if you're not that happy, I don't think that you can't...
Just be happier. Just be happier.
Anyway, so this study that I was looking into worked on 25% of their study group had a 25% increase of their natural baseline of happiness. And when we talk about happiness, it's just like their overall well-being in their day-to-day. They just felt a little bit lighter, a little bit brighter after the study.
Yep.
25% increase. All right. So what they worked on was 5 different pillars, cores, segments. And it is spirit. Don't like that word because I feel like I always go straight to like spirits.
Yeah, hippie shit.
Hippie shit. But it's spirit, people, body, brain, mind. So spirit is about how you help others and the planet. And have you ever like bought like a bottle of water or something for a homeless person at the front of a shop? Donated some coins? Never. Have you ever done anything like helping people? Like when you
my job helps people.
Yeah, but not that you get something connected back. So do you remember when you did the Compass Award thing?
Duke of Ed. Yeah.
I know that you.
I did that to get out of school, but yeah.
Yeah, but you still got satisfaction of helping people.
Yeah, like, I suppose. Yeah.
The oldies in the old people home.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah.
You feel good, like you feel like, oh, I feel warm in my belly.
Yeah, I understand the feeling of doing something good. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is one. Connecting with others, so that's pretty self-explanatory. People, just spending time with people. If you have close friends, you 7 years is added onto your life expectancy, which is pretty cool. Your body, so being active, eat, sleep well. We do that really well.
Yes.
We look after people's activeness.
Yep, that's our job.
Brain, so learning and being creative. Mind is being aware, taking notice. That's more like gratitude.
Yeah.
Out of those 5 things, what do you think that you need to, what would be, one thing that you think you'd want to work on or would benefit you a little bit more?
Probably the gratitude side of things.
Yeah. Do you still do your diaries?
Not as frequently as I should do, but I don't know, I just don't take compliments well.
Oh, who does?
Yeah, it's like I like the praise for doing XYZ work. I don't like it.
Yeah.
I struggle. I just makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah, but it's also, it can just be more you being grateful of, it doesn't have to be a reflection of what you've done well. Be like,
I'm grateful for a lot of things. I take time to reflect on it, but I think if that's not the case, then maybe the doing things for others, but like doing things for others are for people that are important to me. Like I'm not going to donate money to a homeless person.
No, but it doesn't have to be.
Yeah, I know. But like the that would be what most people would consider. Like mine is doing things for people that I actually care about.
Yeah.
Like as selfish as it may sound, I don't really care about the homeless person.
That's okay.
It's like my realm of people I care about are about probably 10 people. Outside of that, no problem.
I feel like you're from early on in our podcast, you had about 5. Now you got 10. I love this.
Well, I've got more than 5 people in my family, yeah?
But that's the thing. It could be something as simple as like, I don't know, helping your sister with something.
Yeah.
Like
okay.
without her asking. Be like, oh, like that pre-thought of, oh, mum's working late tonight. I might put on the slow cooker. I don't know.
Yeah, I get what you mean. Yeah. I think I do that stuff anyway. What were the options again? Can you read them out to me?
So connecting with others, being active, sleeping well.
Sleeping well, I could do better with that. Yeah.
Learn and be creative. So
learning. That would be it. Out of all of them, be learning. Spend more time doing that.
Yeah.
Like I don't prioritize it enough.
I feel like we've spoken about this, just developing your neuroplasticity with increased learning.
Have we?
I think so. I swear we did it in one podcast before.
Maybe, but I need to go back to reading. I struggle with it. Like not the act of actually I can read.
Yeah, but it's setting time to do
read.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and resting.
Sleep.
And sleep.
As you can tell, I haven't had much.
Yes. Alrighty.
What about you then?
What about me? Connecting with others. I find like I was really good for a bit after post-teaching, and then you kind of, when you have this job, you're kind of connecting with people all the time.
Yes.
Like via message, via video calls. Then I feel like it kind of like takes away a little bit of the energy I can do that. I think you have to actively do it when you're an adult. You have to pencil it and be like, I'm going to make sure that
I speak to this person at this
I
time.
hang out with this person. I caught up with a friend 2 weeks ago and I was like, why haven't I done this in a while?
Yeah, well, our jobs are well, it's not necessarily a hard job. There's no level of our job that's necessarily hard. The talking to people constantly all day does get draining. I get home.
It's emotionally taxing. I feel like.
Yeah, I don't know about emotionally. Some days, some conversations can be emotionally taxing, but it's just mentally.
The right word. Yeah.
They're mentally taxing because I'm cognizant the entire time that I'm having a conversation with X amount of people per day, X amount of messages per day, constantly reading information and trying to digest that and then come up with a reply to said message that makes sense, but also answers question or solves problem, whatever it may be. And then I get home and I just don't want to talk to anyone.
It's like having X amount of friends, but you talk to daily and you don't want to forget like little bits of their lives because it makes up the bigger picture of how we help them. So you'll constantly remember, like, their family, about their families,
Yeah, there's more to it than just reading a message and then replying to it. You're right. You have to remember a lot of details about a lot of people. And it's like, I don't have a spreadsheet that says this person has this brother, this sister, this problem.
Yep.
It's just all in my head.
It's just and that's, And
that's why I forget stuff. Like I'll send a message, like I'll send a voice note, like, did we speak about this 3 weeks ago? And like, while most people understand that I don't just deal with one client, like it's not just, like, because I have a coach, I also I look at it from that perspective of like, he has to remember my problems, but also everyone else's problems too.
But you do that with the understanding that it's you.
Yeah, that's why I say to him, like when I message him, I'm like, he'll message me back on a Saturday night, like 9 p.m. I literally said to him like last week, I said, fuck off, go do something else.
Yeah.
Like I don't need a reply straight away.
I've got clients that will message me, like I won't check it because my notifications are off, but they'll do it in capitals, like, do not respond to this until Monday.
Yeah, I'm very much like that too. Because the people side of the job is far hard. Like the people side of the job is most of the job, more than just like writing programs and meal plans and stuff.
So many jobs are when you work closely with people. I think a lot of people that are not in that sort of field, and it's not even us. It's the same thing with teaching. It's the same thing with I guess like nurses and when you're the longer term.
Yeah. I listened to a podcast this morning about, like, it was a business podcast. It was about finding the real business within the business. And like when people look at this, they see the business as meal plans, programs, macros, but the real, like, he was talking from a problem perspective, like solving the problems, finding that. But the real business within the business is talking people through problems and solving people's problems is what the actual business is. But from the outside, people looking in, they'd be like, oh, you just write meal plans and do check-ins, right? Yeah, I do that for maybe 4 or 5 hours of the week. The rest of it is people pleasing and solving problems.
Yeah. And so many of my clients I've had say, like, you're more than just like a coach. You're like my nutritionist. You're my this person. You're my organizer. Many times I help people just organize their lives.
Yeah. And like that's not me us complaining about it. That's just the reality of the job.
Yeah.
Most people don't see that. Like people get into online coaching and be like, oh, it's going to be just
write
meal plans on the beach. If you want to be successful at it, it's not that. I can tell you that. It's many long days. Most people don't have an office to work in, but it's many long days in the office.
Yeah, and we're lucky that we do have the flexibility of moving things around. But at the same time, it's just like nothing of this is negative. It's just you're catering to a bunch of people's different needs.
Yep, and everyone has different expectations of coaching, so that's why we have standardized. This is what you get, and it's not per individual client. So like, I reply to everyone twice per day. Reach out 3 times per week, and that's across every client. The clients don't message me back for 3 to 4 days. And like
I still pester them. I'm like,
I still message them.
Hear me?
Yeah, like some will reply back same day. Some will send multiple messages a day. Some will reply to me once a week.
And it's just because people need different things.
Yeah, correct.
And some people are like, I just want to hear from you twice a week. Other people are like daily, and there's no right or there's no wrong. No. But anyway, that's I guess why I've like I want to schedule in some more friend time. Now, some examples for them.
Go on.
Alrighty. So, I feel like I need to have this a little bit. Like, I can't see. There we go. So, setting smart, attainable goals.
Yes.
Remember what they are?
I know what SMART goals are. I couldn't read out the acronym to you.
Well, SMART, well, for anyone who doesn't know, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. Now, SMART goals are basically the god tier of setting goals, I guess. I think it's been proven to have more success when you have those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 different things. Mm-hmm. So be specific. And we do this with our clients all the time. We set a, specific goal. To lose weight is not a goal.
No, we do our consults. It's in a form.
We do this pretty much in the consult.
It's a SMART goal. Yeah.
It has to be specific. If you just want to lose weight,
why?
How do you know you're going to get to that point? What's that point look like? Is that in 300 grams? Is it in 30 kilos?
Yeah.
Measurable, how are you going to measure it? Mm-hmm. Achievable, is it realistic? You want to lose 50 kilos in 2 months?
You probably could do it. You'd be dead though.
You would be miserable.
It's definitely achievable, but it's not realistic.
Is it relevant and time bound? Giving it actually a time crunch.
Yep.
So this person made up theirs on the basis of the 5 wedges. Mm-hmm. Their goals were once a month, organize a catch up with friends. Mm-hmm. Maybe I should do that one. At the end of each day, think of 3 good things that happened that day, and that's for the mind.
Yep.
Do 1 random act of kindness each week. Mm-hmm. That doesn't have to be for randoms. That could be with your loved ones. It could be simply making your loved one a coffee.
Yeah, that's what I do. Mine's very, very easy. Mine's if I'm out early in the morning, either I Uber Eats coffee to the house or just transfer them. Hey, this is for you to go and buy coffee and breakfast today.
Yeah. Well, this morning Will was going to work and he parked very far down the street and he's had his tools in the house. And he was like trying to carry his coffee, pull his tool little bag thing. Mm-hmm. It's fucking huge.
Yeah.
And I was like, you want me to walk you to your car? And he was like, yeah. So I was carrying his coffee and he's like, this made it so much easier. And I was like, oh, I'm so kind. That was my act of kindness for today. Contact a friend once a month on the phone or on the internet. I guess people that are further out.
On the internet.
On the internet.
God, it's an old person that wrote
that. For learning, once a week, find and cook a new recipe, which is pretty cool. I actually want to build a veggie patch on my balcony. So I have been looking at DIY planter boxes.
Go to Bunnings.
What?
To get planter boxes. I looked at so many of them.
Yeah, but I want to build them.
Oh.
I want to build them. And
okay.
I watched...
You mean we'll build them?
No.
Okay.
Me. Bunnings already cuts the planks to
I think you can
measure.
get like pre-made DIY ones. Unless it's probably going to be more expensive, but yeah.
But they cut the wood for the size you need. So I just have to take the measurements. And was like, why don't you just buy the planter boxes? And I was like, because I want to stretch this hobby out a little bit longer, I guess.
Yeah, fair.
Because I was like, I can't exercise as much. Mm-hmm. I need... My bank account's going to be running dry because my other hobby is shopping.
Yeah, good.
So I was like, I needed to have something that, like, I don't know, I've always wanted a veggie patch. So I'm going to build that. That's my little learning thing. Mm-hmm. And this person's one was make a quilt wall hanging for the front of my bedroom. But the thing is, like, by the end of August. So do you see how, like, once a month, that's a timed, achievable, measurable goal?
Yep.
Are you able to tick it off, yes or no? At the end of each day, that's the timed part. Do 1 random act of kindness each week, timed. Contact a friend once a month. Mm-hmm. Once a week, learn a new recipe. Mm-hmm. Make a quilt by the end of August.
Yeah, okay.
So I guess like mine would be like by the end of winter, have my veggie patch going.
Yeah.
Got to figure out when to plant all of them.
That's the hard part. I googled all that stuff. I went through a real phase where I was going to be like, I'm going to be a green thumb. Didn't last long.
Did you buy any of the stuff for me?
No, I didn't. I had a whole list. I was like, I'm going to plant this will grow good here, this will grow bad here. This is the soil I need.
Well, I was looking at like root vegetables. Root vegetables need 30 centimeters of soil, whereas like other things only need 15 centimeters. And I was like, okay, I could put that here. Mm-hmm. Some things need like minimum 6 hours of sun. Some needs 8 hours of sun. My balcony gets about 12 hours of sun. So perfect. That's going to have to be something I look into.
Prime veggie growing.
Yeah. So basically, I think so many people are locked into their thoughts that yes, your genetics and what you've grown up with is going to predetermine, your lifelong happiness. And yes, this is probably, people have, there's there's extreme circumstances where it's going to be a lot harder to get to an average baseline of wellness. But it's not impossible.
No, I agree. I think you said there that the study, like, what was the first bit you said about people?
For a long time, they thought that people couldn't improve their happiness.
Yeah, based on their childhood.
Yeah, basically genetics and nature versus nurture. Yeah.
Yeah, there's probably a level of that too, but like as soon as you find something that confirms your bias, all of a sudden you buy into it. So, like people when they have their Fitbits on, it says they got poor sleep that night. Instantly, they're like, "Oh, I got poor sleep. I must be fucking feel tired today."
Yeah.
So there's definitely a level of that to it too, where it's like, because happiness is so subjective that I can only imagine that would be extremely hard to measure. I'm just like, yeah, kids that get beat up in their childhood and all that kind of stuff would probably have lower expectations or lower levels of happiness than someone that grew up in a normal household.
Oh, yeah.
So 100% there, that too, that would definitely play a role with it. But as soon as you would read some study that says, oh, because you had a traumatic childhood, it's proven that you have lower happiness than other people, would that not by default make you feel unhappier and just confirm your bias that you're unhappy?
I don't know, I guess. Or it could just, I don't know, confirm what they already felt. Because it's hard because it's a feeling. I guess it's just people's outlook on how they get through it.
Well, it comes back to the whole victim mentality thing, right?
Yeah, and you know what? People going through hard shit, it's very hard to,
Oh, yeah. I know. I'm not discrediting people that have had tough times, but at the same time, you're like...
I feel like basically what this is all about is like you can have some sort of control. Yes, you couldn't control your upbringing, you couldn't control your genetic factors, but it's not like you've been dealt these cards and this is the rest of your life.
Yep.
There is parts that you can change. I'm not saying that you're going to, have, it's not as easy as someone who didn't go through that. But if you're taking anything away from this, it's just you do have control in aspects of your life, which can lead to happiness. Yeah.
About 5 minutes before I have to jump on the meeting. So, any closing thoughts that you have?
Any closing thoughts?
You kind of ran this episode, so I'll let you close it off.
Any closing thoughts? Just if there is any of those 5 sections that we spoke about, if you find that you like them, there's like a little tool, there's a little circle, and you slice it into 5 wedges. Put those 5 wedges, label them, and then 0 being the middle, 10 being the outside. Shade them, and based on how much you actively do that in your life. If you're already looking after your fitness, your health and fitness, you're on that journey, that might be closer to the 10. But if you find that you don't actually do any random acts of kindness for people in your life or random people, that might be closer to the 0. Just reflect on sort of those things and have a go at making some smart goals based on those.
I agree. Totally agree. Terrific. All right. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. We will see you next week.
We'll see you next week.
Don't know what we're going to talk about. We figure it out beforehand. All right. Goodbye.
Bye.